everything that I am, everything that I've accomplished, everything that, you know, my roots, my family, are a direct result of the door that was opened to me in 1961 to come to this country and have a greater opportunity. I was born in the town of Camaguey, Cuba, to a middle-class family. Camaguey is not one of the biggest cities in Cuba, hardly anybody knows where it is, but a town of about 100,000 people. My father was a pharmacist, businessman, and we were there during the Batista regime and eventually the Castro's revolution. My parents sent me and my brothers, who were a year and a half older, I was 10 years old, my brother's a year and a half older, sent us here to the United States through something called Operation Peter Pan, where Cuban parents sent over 14,000 unaccompanied children to the United States, really to be distributed to foster homes and orphanages. My brothers and I ended up in an orphanage in Pueblo, Colorado, and we lived there for almost 4 years until we were reunited with my parents. 52 years ago, I was crying myself to sleep in that orphanage, praying to God that He would take me to keep me from suffering anymore because of the emotional pain of being away from my parents and not knowing the language, the culture shock, the pain of just getting beat up by other kids. It was just incredibly traumatic. But my God, over 50 years later, I became the mayor of a major city in the United States. I mean, I just can't think of any other country in the world where that would happen. For all of us to come out and tell our stories is the way to remind our fellow citizens of how important immigrants have been. And I would encourage everyone to tell their story, because those are things that touch us not only in our brain, but in our hearts. These are things that move us to higher parts of ourselves, that move us to be generous, to be accepting, to be inclusive, to have courage. And I think that that's what we need right now. And I think that for all of us to share our stories will overcome some of the hatred and perhaps racism that exists today towards immigrants and really take us to a better place where this country should be.